When you have a healthier workforce, studies have shown that your organization is much more profitable. People come to work on time. Guess who gets the glory? God gets the glory, but you get the benefit. It's like my fitness encouraged my faith, and my faith encouraged my fitness.
Well, hello, Dangelo Lee. How are you?
Man, I am peacock proud and hyena happy.
Oh, it's so exciting. Well, I'm so glad I was able to get squeezed into your calendar. You have so much going on, and I can't wait to tell people about it. But first, welcome to the Business Leaders Podcast. And you have a unique role as a business leader. I'm excited to tell people about it. So you're there right now in Dallas. That's your home base?
Yes, it is.
But your consulting and your conference speaking and your events are nationwide.
Yes.
So I'm excited that we'll get a chance to tell people about those upcoming and then direct them to your website so they can book you as a leader. On the Kanza group, where you're the managing partner for the last 4 years, you work with clients as an IT consultant, in business development, in coaching. And so that's kind of a core business opportunity that you have. But Dangelo Lee, that company is more your wellness focus and the source of your book.
Yes.
And so I love the banner behind you because
you.
it mentions what's happening with your book. And as we were reviewing your biography and your background, 2 decades as a pastor,
Yes.
A master's in divinity.
Yes.
And so you certainly are a man of faith and managed businesses that were faith-based, oriented in faith.
Yes.
And we were talking about how when you're a pastor, you think about resurfacing the asphalt in the parking lot, and you think about, do you have Sunday school teachers? And you think about, are you using the electricity wisely for air conditioning when it's hot, in Texas?
Yes, absolutely.
You
Yes.
have all those concerns about running a business, and it's kind of like running a small city. You're sort of mayor of the city that is the church.
Yes.
But as you have looked at what your primary focus should be for the next chapters of your life, you've really combined faith and fitness. You're able to just really focus on why people should get fit, because it should be a component of their faith. We talked about how the body is a temple, and if you're going to do the work of the world that perhaps your faith is inviting you to do, you have to be well enough to pull that off. And so share a little bit about how you came to write the Theology of Fitness, your book that's now out.
Yes, as you mentioned, first of all, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
It's lovely to have you.
Thank you. And I'm always appreciative when I get an opportunity to talk about faith, fitness, and family. So thank you so very much. As I was sharing with you before, faith and fitness, it came over time. Mm-hmm. I pastored for many years, a few decades, if you will, and reared in the church all of my life. My uncles were bishops. My dad was a pastor. I mean, we were just a very religious family. And on the other side, I was always a fit person. I was athlete and fit and always stayed in the gym and tried to eat well and just, but I never was able to understand the synergy, Marina, between the two.
Yes.
They were opposite. And I oftentimes say that I was preaching the good news. But the not so good news of this is all of the opportunities that I missed with the various congregations and conferences and weddings and that I've done over the years, never got the opportunity to share with them the synergy, the marriage, the exclusivity of faith and fitness. Hence the company, the Dangelo Lee Wellness Company. Hence my book, Theology of Fitness, to give faith leaders like I was a faith leader.
Okay, Liz, this needs to be edited because I had some kind of coughing fit, and I'm going to stop it again, and then we're going to start again. Dan, I'm excited that you saw a way, as you've helped people over the years in the church, to marry your fitness and the opportunity for wellness through the power of faith, because especially for people in a faith community, whether it's Christian or some other kind, that can be the devotional root of all they do in their life. And when they're well, they do whatever they do better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And there have been studies to show that when you are fit, there's a domino effect. And since I'm a preacher, I like to use alliterations. When you're fit, your family is fit. When your family is fit, your finances are fit.
Yes.
When your finances are fit, your friendships are fit.
Yes.
And when your friendships are fit, your fellowship is fit. And when your fellowship is fit, your future is fit.
Yes.
It has been proven that there is a beautiful, wonderful domino effect when we take care of our temples that God has entrusted to us. God entrusted it to you, not you entrusted it to
Right.
you, but God entrusted it to you. And just on that level, I have a greater responsibility. I have a greater call to care for the very thing that God gave me, not Myrna. You gave it to you. And the question is, how are you honoring the temple? Because how you honor it is a reflection of your faith. It's a barometer
Yes.
of your faith. And for so long, never talked about it.
You mentioned that you have a hospital client.
Yes.
And they're doing very well and they're slimming down. They have a story that if you are a runner, if you go run in the morning or after work, that whatever problems you had in your head to begin with aren't there at the end of your run. You
Yep.
just processed it, right? Because your body was active. And I have to believe that if you have a wellness program at hospital or one of your other corporate clients, that collectively they're all better off, just as you described.
Absolutely.
They're communicating better in meetings. They have a better spirit when they arrive at work. They're all doing better together. And so, yeah, this fitness component, I think, can help an organization be more well, not just the individuals in it.
And more profitable because you save just on preventive health measures. When you have a healthier workforce, studies have shown that your organization is much more profitable. People come to work on time. They're not as likely to be out on sick leave, which impacts productivity. And when your productivity is negatively impacted, that impacts your bottom line.
Sure.
And when that impacts your bottom line, then that goes towards your insurances and medical insurance. And so you have to pay more as a company, just like an individual has to pay more when your organization is not healthy. So we understand that connection and know that it's not like a separation of church and state. We're not trying to proselytize anyone. Like I tell people all the time, although I've been a pastor and I've been a Christian pastor, I understand that fitness, it goes beyond your denomination or your faith because there are no that I know of religions or faiths that does not require you to take care of your temple.
Yes.
And so if within our faith community it is required, which many times we don't enforce, we don't talk about, and you don't have my book, Theology of Fitness, to instruct and guide the leadership on how to effectively communicate this to their congregations or their staff. When we have those resources, there's just a plethora of benefits. It is there's CeCe Winans has a song out and it's called Let Goodness Overrun You. Fitness will overrun you with profitability, smiles, and just the basic simple things that make a work environment more healthier. And that translates into dollars and cents. So there is a need for this type of understanding and as an unction, if you will, because there are a lot of people that, as I mentioned to you at the hospital that I'm with, many of them had to get on these weight loss drugs, but they wanted to do it, but the disease that they have or whatever is now causing them to do it. But now they enjoy it. They love it. They wish they did not have to have the doctor or a diagnosis to force them to do it. But in my mind, it doesn't matter.
No.
You're becoming fit. There's one particular older women that are there at the hospital, and every time I see them, I just always compliment them on how nice they look. And also tell them they walk differently.
Yes.
Myrna, their shoulders are, I've noticed that they fix their hair even more.
How they carry themselves.
Yes, it permeates, and that is the spirit of God. That is the spirit permeating through you. There's a passage in scripture, and you know this too, and I don't want to get too preachy. But it says, let your light so shine before all men. Your light. Let your light so shine before that they may see your good work, see you working out, see you eating right, see you watching what beverages you put in your mouth, you managing your stress, you smiling, you managing your finances and managing well your family and your future. When they see these things, guess who gets the glory?
Yeah.
God gets the glory, but you get the benefit.
Yes.
Your organization gets the benefit.
Mhm.
And if we can continue to multiply that, clone that, we don't even have to get deep about it.
Mhm.
It's all about understanding faith and fitness. And that's what the D'Angelo Lee Wellness Company brings to that organization. And my book gives you a tangible tool to do that, as well as a platform to gauge where that company is and where they're trying to go.
You know, the your book, The Theology of Fitness, I think supports you as both a motivator. You know, here's the benefits you could expect to achieve. If
Yes,
you begin to add wellness and use your reservoir of faith to fuel those changes you're going to make in your wellness.
yes,
You also facilitate. There's a run that happens downtown in Dallas,
yes,
and you help people get coordinated and go there. They can walk the 3 miles or jog it or run it, but you have ways for them to, okay, well, how do I get started? Well, you
yes,
help facilitate people getting started, whether it's in their workplace or in their community.
yes. And thank you for that, because what I do is that I just provide the resources.
Yes.
I want to spark or
Mhm.
re-energize or make pertinent or give you an urgency of how important it is for you to get your temple together. And then I want to provide you the necessary resources and information so you can continue to understand that you have a responsibility to do that.
Mhm.
And then I want to provide you the resources.
Yes.
And what I do, I partner with various types of organizations like Run It Up Dallas. Shout it out to Run It Up Dallas. Someone told me about it.
Mhm.
I've only gone once to it because I just have not had the time to go. But I also share with other people, you need to become a part of that.
Yes.
After work, around once you get home and get settled, they typically meet at a restaurant or meet at, so that business is promoted.
Yes.
And they even allow the owners and the business persons to participate. And Myrna, it is literally 300 people coming after work that are walking, running 3 miles three
Mhm.
times a week.
Mhm.
That is phenomenal.
Yes.
And mind you, I don't have to organize that. All I do is tell them about it. And
Well, and
so so that's just an example of the various resources. And mind you, it takes a village to maintain fitness. And so I tap into them and I talk with them and I say, hey man, I just want to make sure I can refer people to you and you're going to take good care of them because they're good stewards over their temples as well.
well, you know, you're going to be on the West Coast. I think later this month we're shooting this
In Los Angeles.
in Los Angeles, and you're coming back to Dallas. Then you have some time in Atlanta. So I encourage people to go to DangeloLee.com. And let's spell that out. DangeloLee.com. So the conference speaking that you're doing and the book signings, that's how people sign up for that, is they go to your website and they can order one book and get started, or talk to you about having them visit the workplace or corporation, or a conference or revival, you know, for a faith-based community or whatever that looks like. And then you can have books for signings there too. So you're even in Wisconsin later this year, right? At a conference?
Yes, in Los Angeles, I'm going to be at a restaurant there, very famous restaurant called Eugene's
Mhm.
there, and I'm going to do a book signing.
Mhm.
And all of my book signings are always live. They're always live on all social media platforms. So
Mhm.
whether they're physically or not, you can always participate. And I have various individuals that interview me because I want to get various perspectives on faith and fitness. And
Yes.
so I'll be doing that there. And then beautifully,
Mhm.
I part of faith and fitness is taking care of yourself. So I'm going on a cruise.
Very good.
Yes, the 25th to the 29th, I'm going to Mexico and spend some time in there just refreshing. And
Mhm.
then when I return, I will be at a faith-based organization there on June the 1st.
Mhm.
And I will be speaking
Mhm.
and I'll be having a book signing after the service. All of that would be live too as well. And I'll return back here to Dallas. And on June the 3rd, I will be at the deck here in the southern sector of Dallas.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be featured as an author for Theology of Fitness.
Mhm.
And so it would be a live interview all on Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram, TikTok, all of your favorite social platforms.
Mhm.
And then it would be a book signing,
Mhm.
and that would be available. And then on the 14th, I'll be a speaker at a conference.
Mhm.
And then on that following weekend, the 21st, I
You'll be
will be
in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Mhm.
I'll be in Atlanta, and I will be having a book signing there in Buckhead.
Mm.
I love Buckhead, so I'll be
Yeah,
there
beautiful
signing books.
community. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
and
so when they go to your website, they can see how to follow you on Facebook, how to follow
yes,
your various socials, and
yes,
they can see the impact you're having with other people that are also going through the book.
absolutely.
And then
And
they
one
can,
more thing, and Myrna, one more thing I wanted to share is that when you read the book, faith without works is dead.
Mhm.
So after each chapter,
Mhm.
there's work to do.
Yeah, there's homework.
There's a challenge. And mind you, Myrna, as I share with you, the challenge is not always going to the gym. It is doing some kind deed, whether it's go tutor, whether it go out to a community and pick up trash, or whether you feed the homeless, or you just give a smile,
Mhm.
go feed the birds.
Mhm.
There are a plethora of ways to let our light shine.
Mhm.
And it's the result of our fitness, which is a reflection and outward expression of our faith.
Mhm.
It's all connected.
Mhm. It's very motivating. And what I like about the fact that your events are online is people can see other people like themselves that have started this journey,
Yes.
that have started to use their faith and their devotion to create total wellness,
Yes.
their physical body. And then, as you say, it happens in their finances, it happens in their workplaces, in their communities. So, a wonderful holistic message. And it seems like your years as a pastor put you on the path to this unique convergence of these two things.
Yes. And also I have a sad story that also kind of brought this to reality. I
Mhm.
lost my mom, and my mom and both of my parents are deceased now. But more specifically, my mom and my parents were the wind beneath my wings. They were my biggest fans.
Mhm.
And so to lose my mom and was not able to attend her funeral, it was a very devastating time because I was away for a while.
Mhm.
It was a very devastating time for me.
Mhm.
And all I told those that were my supporters,
Mhm.
just get me to the gym.
Mhm.
If you see me falling into a place of depression and
Mhm.
darkness, and just take me to the gym.
Mhm.
And the reason why I asked them to do that,
Mhm.
and this was before I understood the synergy. I was doing faith and fitness before I really wrote about it and now can
Mhm.
talk clearly about it.
Took a while to come together.
It did because I was so hurt and dark in my life. And the only way my mental skies opened up was
Mhm.
when I worked out.
Mhm.
Then I began to understand very clearly scripture where it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. All of that, Myrna, became alive for me, knowing that I'm more than a conqueror. All of those wonderful scriptures that somehow, some way could not resonate
Mhm.
into my being
Mhm.
became alive through
Mhm.
my fitness.
Yes.
And so it's like my fitness encouraged my faith, and my faith encouraged my fitness. So it was this ebb and flow. And in my mind, I was like, whoa, you
Mhm.
just now getting this?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, you've been in the church all and you've been prospering. And said, okay. And God said, hey, you need to put this together. You need to write about it, start a business, get out there and make it happen. And
Mhm.
hence where I am
So
today.
fantastic. No, so
Yes.
fantastic. Well, and when you think about the domino effect, and then I'll let you leave, our viewers with the last thought. Imagine you go to this run that Dan told you about, and you're meeting up at this restaurant, whether you're running or jogging or walking, you're meeting new people who also have a commitment to wellness. When you're done, you're not going to go have a, root beer and a bunch of French fries.
Yes.
You're going to think, I should probably have water. And
Yes.
maybe I can have an apple and then
Mhm.
and a healthy dinner. You
Yep.
start to make those little changes because you've begun the path to wellness.
Yep. Absolutely.
It builds upon another. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm very encouraged about what you're doing and all the people you're helping all over the country. So do you have
Yes.
a final thought to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. Today, I always go to the fresh market. I'm a juicer now,
Okay.
so I go to this Cedar Market is not far from where I live in downtown Dallas.
Mhm.
And I buy all the fresh fruits and vegetables and I juice and I, put these juices away and really got some nice glass bottles that I bought on Amazon too.
Yeah.
And so I juice and I understand how not only do I have the responsibility to go to the gym, I have responsibility of what I put into my body.
Yes.
I have a responsibility to do that. And so now I'm juicing.
Mhm.
Every time I go, I tell the owners of the the
The market. Mhm.
market, I tell them, I said, do you not know that you are practicing faith and fitness? They're like, what? I was like, dude, you're practicing faith and fitness. And I said, and and Marty, it is just the knowledge of that. There's a passage of scripture that I'm in with. It says that we perish because of our lack of knowledge. There's no need to perish anymore
Mhm.
because of that, because you have Theology of Fitness that
Right.
you can pick up on DangeloLee.com.
Yeah.
Go in there and it can take you there, get that. And it'll be a wonderful guide to get started. And you can always invite me in
Yeah.
as a consulting to your organizations
Mhm.
to help you get out a plan
Mhm.
and walk with you hand in hand
Mhm.
until we understand. And this is my statement is that faith and fitness is not a fad.
Oh no.
It's a fact. Great, great facade,
Yeah.
but Myrna, it glorifies God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so amazing. Well, and they can start following you today from your website, and see your book signings and order your book and get going. So thank you so much for joining me today. And you are leading an inspired life
Thank you.
and, helping so many others. I appreciate your being a part of the podcast.
Absolutely. And again, thank you, Myrna, for reaching out to me. And thank you so much for all that you do. And just remember, faith and fitness is not a fad, it's a fact. Great facade glorifies God. God bless.
Very good. Thank you.